Deer Hunting Again After 13 Years by Henry Johns. Blinded veteran Chuck Smith of Morgan's Point Resort, Texas, lost his sight 13 years ago from cancer. Although he could no longer shoot a rifle, he still looked forward to hunting trips. He went along and helped clean the harvested deer and cook the meals. Those who haven't experienced or been exposed to hunting may not be able to relate to Chuck's desire to continue going on such trips when he can no longer just pick up a rifle or even see one. The benefits of hunting, however, run deep and include spiritual connection with the land, wildlife, mankind, and all aspects of nature, with the concept of whole health playing such a significant part in several VA publicity campaigns the past few years. It is worth asserting that hunting is good, whole health, recreational therapy for the mind, body, and soul. Whole health centers around, quote, what matters to the veteran, not what is the matter with the veteran, unquote, and hunting does matter to thousands of veterans out there. Hunting is an activity that engages the mind in planning, coordinating, preparing clothing and equipment, and communicating with others about a planned shared experience weeks or maybe even months in advance of the actual hunt. The experience itself builds special memories and opportunities for future joyful storytelling of adventures past. It provides the comfort food of shared memories. Sitting in a deer stand for hours, experiencing the daybreak, or stalking across a field, either alone or with friends or family, can take a veteran with vision loss a million miles away from problems and troubling issues of the day. This past deer season, Chuck was able to go back in time, at least to some extent. He found himself doing something he used to do as a sighted hunter. This occurred when his friends surprised him with an adaptive rifle scope clip-on for blind and low-vision hunters that they had learned about online. The adaptive device allows a spotter to see on a remote display everything in the rifle scope's field of view. In that manner, the spotter can direct the blind shooter holding the rifle to target up or down, or to the left or to the right before firing. Although Chuck did not have much confidence that such a device would work, nor did he totally understand how it operated, he approached it with the same willingness he fought in Desert Storm as a Marine and the same willingness that he possesses now to use every resource at his disposal in an effort to live as independently as possible as a blinded veteran. The first stop for Chuck, still skeptical, was the range. To the surprise of everyone present, he hit dead center on the target every time. The next morning he climbed into a deer stand for the first time in 13 years with two friends. With his friend's daughter as the spotter to assist him, a buck came within range. She whispered, "Up, down, left, right, now go for it." As the shot was fired, so did the screams of excitement ring out in the deer stand as his first deer in 13 years, one he never thought he would be able to harvest again, dropped in its tracks. This proud blind Marine said the experience almost brought him to tears. Overcome with emotion, he insisted on dragging his buck back to the truck himself. This device gives the visually impaired independence because we are totally independent with the rifle, Chuck later said. Nobody but the visually impaired person touches it. This new adaptive rifle scope attachment for hunting and shooting sports, the Digital Crosshairs 1000A adaptive clip-on, has been issued to qualifying blind and low-vision veterans by a VA Blind Rehabilitation Center, BRC, in support of recreational therapy treatment plans. The veteran does not have to be totally blind, like Chuck, to qualify. Low vision that prevents a veteran from easily targeting a gun for recreational hunting or shooting sports may also qualify. An evaluation done by the BRC in Augusta, Georgia, has recommended this, quote, adaptive recreational equipment, unquote, for issuance as an adaptive device for recreational hunting and shooting sports. The VA BRC defines adaptive recreational equipment as, quote, an item designed to compensate for loss of physical, sensory, or cognitive function and when necessary for the veteran to actively and regularly participate in a sport, recreation, or leisure activity to achieve the veteran's rehabilitation goals as documented in the medical record, unquote. To date, several of these devices have been issued to veterans for recreational therapy by the VA BRC American Lake Division in Tacoma, Washington. As an adaptive recreational therapy device, it is charged to, quote, medical appropriation, unquote, with a typical justification by a recreational therapist stating something like the following, quote, "This equipment serves as a direct active component of the veteran's medical treatment and rehabilitation. The adaptive aid will allow the veteran to maintain independence and safety during participation in leisure and recreation activity of interest." The camera looks through the scope and displays a 4.3-inch color LCD display, as well as the option for a 7-inch display, which can be viewed by the veteran or individually assisting the veteran. The scope camera system allows the veteran to be more mobile, as the battery system is secured to the stock of the equipment, unquote. Hunting and shooting sports are a natural ingredient when it comes to a recreational health plan for many disabled veterans. What better therapy is there for a disabled veteran that grew up hunting than to get back in the woods with family and close friends to participate in recreational hunting and shooting sports? Many disabled veterans are left behind when there is a hunting trip or outing. The general assumption is that they can't go along due to blindness, limited vision, or a mobility disability. The Digital Crosshairs 1000A adaptive scope clip-on is another 21st century technological innovation that leaves in the dust heap still another assumption about what veterans with sight loss can and cannot do. Henry Johns is the founder and chief innovator of Digital FOV, an entrepreneurial venture centered on digital night vision and digital visual equipment for hunters, outdoor activities, the auto industry, boating, protective services personnel, and adaptive equipment for the disabled.